Imagine a path in the dark, 6 feet wide, with thousands of demons on either side. Imagine that I am the torch bearer, your guide, if you will. And if you stay in the light, you will live. But if you stray into the dark, if you take the mark, then you will die by fire. May I be the torch in the dark for thee. For the choice has already been made. It's too late now to go backward. We must ride this wave. We must walk that path. With the demons on either side. Yes, the evil, the MAGA. They are the demons. The path is before you. They are all around. Stay in the torchlight, or you will die. Now let us begin. Hold on, let me turn the brightness up. Okay, Donnie was at the Davos World Economic Forum thing today, and as always, when Donnie travels abroad on behalf of us, he makes an utter embarrassment of the United States and makes us the laughing stock of the world. The thing is, I know a lot of people laughed last time, including me, even though I knew how serious it could potentially get. And a lot of horrid things happened in that first 4 years. My God. But this time is different. This is the real thing, baby. And if what you're witnessing doesn't prove that to you, this is going to that place that, everyone knows is real, but we don't talk about. We'll watch documentaries about it. We'll talk online a little bit and post and stuff like that. That's about as far as it goes. Now it's real. And most of the people that have been talking about it for decades are the demons on either side of the path. Despite the word God and, evil liberals and stuff like that passing through their lips. It's mostly those kind of people talking Bible prophecy, talking Armageddon, talking the apocalypse, all that. Hal Lindsey type people. I assume Mr. Lindsey, if he's alive, if he's been alive, this Trump era thing, I assume he voted for it. Because most Christians, be they Bible, prophecy, hermeneutics people or not, or pastors or whatever, they got to vote R, right? Right. So I assume that's the case, but that's not the point. The point, this is, as we're all laughing, this is the real motherfucking thing. And Donnie has a plan, and he wants you laughing. He wants you not taking it serious. He knows that's how it works. And he'll walk around all day thinking knowing you think he's a stupid, senile old man. In a lot of ways he is. But he had a plan for decades of his life. And this is his big chance. And my God, is he seizing it? Whether Donnie knows who he is or not, he's taken us to that place the story talks about. So I just want to stress it's the real thing. So Donnie was up at the podium with all the world leaders, making a goddamn fool of himself. And it looked like this, the big blue background. And there's so many clips, my God. And this is important. You know, I don't want to read these. I don't want to do it. I think about it and I think, you know what? This is important. This fucking guy, this fucking orange maniac, this Antichrist, every word he says affects our life. Every single fucking word. That's why it's important. Plus, I'm putting it in the record. For the court case, that's all I've been doing all these years. You understand that, right? I've been prosecuting a court case that you were witnessing. And I'm entering it all into the record, what's relevant. And I even made a lot of predictions based on a story and some feelings. And almost every single damn thing has come true to the letter, man. Even more than I would have imagined. Not slight proof. In your face, slap you in the fucking face proof that you can't ignore. Because, son, I'll be honest with you. For years, I've been trying to ignore it. And hoping it wasn't it. It's it. So right off the bat, Donnie was talking about Greenland several times, and he called it Iceland because, again, he's got to embarrass the living fuck out of us. And he can't even remember the name of the country he's about to steal using your mercenaries that you pay for, the U.S. military, to steal. Iceland, they love me. They called me daddy last time. A very smart man said he's our daddy, he's running it. First of all, he's talking about Greenland, a country he's trying to steal from another nation. And I call it a country, whether you do or not. And he's calling it fucking Iceland. That's how much, that's how much he cares. That's how smart he is. He just doesn't give a shit. He's a mobster who's going to use his thugs to take a piece of property called fucking Greenland. He already took Venezuela. He already took the Holy Land. My God, did he take it? And Bibi finding that out the hard way. So why wouldn't he take Greenland? Why wouldn't he take Canada? And what's, honestly, anyone going to do about it? Again, once those Navy destroyers roll up, are they really going to start a fight? The Europeans? I don't know, man. I think some dialogue would take place, and then Donnie would walk away with Greenland. That's what I think will happen. With Canada eventually, too, whenever he decides to make that move. Unless Canada's going to fight. Could happen. So again, Donnie getting the fucking country wrong that he's about to steal, 1. 2, he's saying they're calling him daddy and he's running it. Wow. Yeah, I told you he's the Antichrist, right? I mentioned that? Okay. Just checking, man. Trump in Davos, Switzerland. Again, without us right now, you'd all be speaking German. German is the main language of Switzerland. I didn't know that. This guy does know that. And a bunch of other people posted that as well. So I'm going to run with it's true. And Donnie's a moron. And he just wants to steal territory and resources and take a percentage. So Donnie giving the America all the credit. That's not fair to say America, did it all. Canada helped. Russia helped. In the end, they were happy to sit by and let Adolf do whatever he wanted till he attacked them. Europe helped. I mean, there was a lot of factions and different nations and peoples that helped. And, throughout these wars that we've had in America, including the Civil War, Native Americans fought for American military. Blacks fought for American military. Fresh off of slavery. Vietnam blacks were fighting. They still didn't have full rights. Native Americans were fighting there too. Native Americans were fighting in World War II for us. Doing outlandish shit. Scared the shit out of the Germans. Not to mention, I believe Native Americans broke some code, or no, they were, I believe they were giving orders in the Native American language that the Germans did not know. After the people that came there and founded that country slaughtered their people. The blacks fought in these wars after the people that came here and founded this country enslaved them, killed them, raped them, did whatever they fucking felt like. And now their thanks, those races of people, their thanks is, fuck you, get out of our country. It's astounding to watch. So Donnie's giving America all the credit as if he had something to do with it or something. Winning World War II. And without Donnie in America, everyone would be speaking German. I do agree to an extent that if America didn't jump in, Adolf probably would have beat everybody that tried to outlast him. But America certainly did not fight this war alone. Oh my God. Not even close. That war, excuse me. So, you know, he's with all these foreign nations and he just abject insults them like, yeah, without it, brags like, without America, all you fuckers would be speaking German. And that's the main language in the country he's in. Oh my God. So cringe, so horrible. Like I said, he made an abject embarrassment of the United States again. But the real shame is any of you rubes out there ever thought he was a good idea. Ever thought he had class, decorum, anything, intelligence, decency, anything redeeming. Redeeming enough to give him the keys to the nuclear football and he's on the world stage making deals for us. That's the real shame of this all. It should have, in other words, Rubes, it should have never gotten to the point where the man was representing us to all the foreign nations talking shit. Thank goodness for robots. This is Donnie again. I believe this was earlier in the day. They kind of had a sit-down thing. Thank goodness for robots because we're never going to have enough people to run all these places that are being built. I think robots are actually going to be very big business. I have to ask the question again, oligarchy. When all the jobs are gone, who's going to buy your shitty products? I know you're all geniuses. Did you think about that part? No, you're just thinking about your portfolio and tomorrow. 2, I'm getting tired of these pronouncements by Caesar of abject evil and ruination for society, where they're pronounced as a wonderful thing that everyone is just, you know, thrilled about. More robots means less jobs. There's already nowhere near enough jobs that pay anything remotely decent that you can live on and not starve to death. Donnie speaks, we're never going to have enough people. Really? How high is the unemployment rate? I think we have enough people. What we don't have enough of are fucking jobs. And cunt Orange Caesar in his shitty, smelly fucking diaper once again sits there and proclaims before us how great all these robot things will be. The fuck? If a Democrat was saying that, you'd crucify his fucking ass. God, these people fucking disgust me. People like Adelson. They want all the money that all of us out here produce, that do the goddamn work. They pay nothing. Then they want to automate and pay nobody anything. And then expect all of us peasants out here to buy her shitty product, whatever she does, however the money came to that family. I don't even know who she is, don't give a fuck. I'm using her as an example. The greed is astounding. And again, if you look at what a CEO was making, which was too much even back then, in 1950, as opposed to now. Oh my God. That's what I mean. The greed is just... How many yachts is enough, scumbag? And I'm talking to so many people. How many houses are enough, scumbag? How many mistresses? How many hookers? How many this? How many that? How many's enough? How much is enough? So sad we must share this planet with you hoarders. Otherwise, we all might have nice lives. If it weren't for the imp and his children. There might be enough to go around. Because we don't have a resource problem. We have a hoarding of resource problem. And we all know, we've known that since the beginning of time. And every peasant should be saying that. Despite what their masters tell them. So no, robots ain't a good thing. Fat fucking orange face announcing that. Another just abject evil proclamation. No jobs for you. It's great, isn't it? Please buy our shitty products, though. Again, Donnie, the situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures. What you saw today, again, was the facade dropping further. We have straight up eugenicist talk going on, one. That's later. We have straight up Nazism, racism talk right out in the open with this statement right here. In front of the whole world. World leaders right there, man. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures. Do you hear that, ethnic minorities? He's talking about you. Straight up out in the open. Because that's how comfortable he is now. They got a timeline. They've had a plan. This has always been a plan. This isn't organic. They didn't just think this up yesterday. This man has been this his whole life. Mass import foreign cultures. We can't do that. You know what that means, coming from a Nazi, right? A white nationalist, a white supremacist, the Antichrist. Which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. He's using Somalia as an example, but he's talking about all ethnic minorities that come here that aren't white. We're taking people from Somalia, and Somalia is a failed, it's not a nation, got no government, got no nothing. But he's making a generalization. He's not just talking about Somalia and Somalians. Again, ethnic minorities, he's talking about all of you. I hope you're paying attention. It's too late. Already rounded a bunch of you up. But me and a bunch of other people begged you all for 10 years, please don't do it. Don't vote for him. Don't support him. If you're any type of ethnic minority or Jewish or anything like that, why the fuck would you vote Republican? Is you goddamn insane? Do you notice a lot of the things that Donnie's doing right now already happened in the George Bush Jr. administration? Little children. What does that tell you? That tells you the right-wing political machine, the ideology has always been this: fascism, white supremacy. Despite how many blacks, Latinos, gays took part in the right-wing machine, they never loved you, son. And we all know it. We're watching it right now. The maximum expression, what they've always wanted to do. George Bush Sr., New World Order. Carney, New World Order. Letting you know, that's what Donnie and these people are. That's what George Bush Sr. was too. Again, ethnic minorities. The right-wing political machine has always been this. There's a reason, little children, that the Klan votes are. It's a real simple concept. If the Klan didn't like what they saw, they wouldn't be voting that way, right? Right, son? So again, if the Klan voting one way, if you black, Latin, Jewish, Asian, whatever, you vote the motherfucking other way. Unless you crazy. Shit. You learning the hard way, ain't you, children? Ethnic minority children, you're learning. This ain't a fucking game to these people. They believe it, son, and they believed it since 1945, the right-wing political machine. It's never changed. They never liked democracy. They hate it. They've always been looking for ways around it. Then came George Bush Jr., Dick Cheney, and his dad, George Bush Jr.'s dad. Oh, we'll just use our corrupt-ass Supreme Court and we'll get them to say, if we call you a terrorist, you know, we can put you on a pike in Guantanamo or wherever the fuck we feel like. Donnie ran with that football. That football been around since 2001. And it's been the ideology of the right-wing political machine the entire fucking time. They've been trying to pull this off. Get around due process rights, all of it. Fucking fascism. Fuck voting. Fuck elections. White supremacy. New World Order. Global dominance. Whatever title you want to fucking put on it. The right wing. Right-wing nationalists, white nationalism. Same thing Hitler was. Same exact movement. Which is sad because how many Americans had to die so that cunt could shoot himself in a bunker and we could be rid of him. And rid of his cunt Nazis. What a fucking shame. The rubes. The white supremacists too. There's a reason they vote for it as well, son. Let's try that again with America this time so we can really go down in fucking flames. Because Germany ain't nowhere near the size of America. It didn't have nowhere near the wealth, power, machinery, technology, nothing. Again, this is why this beast is the worst, biggest beast that ever was. Let me continue. This is straight up open Nazism and racism being spoken out loud. Most politicians, if they dared say this in public, they would be impeached, just gone the next fucking day. That'd be normal politics, business as usual. reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures. Code for Black, Latin, Somalian. You know what he's fucking saying here. Foreigners are shit, is what he's saying. We can't assimilate them into our culture. We can't add them. It's different. And what is he really saying? The skin color's different. Somalia has failed to ever, he also said, which have failed to ever build a successful society. No one outside of America has built a successful society. I mean, the level of insult here to entire nations in front of the whole world where he represents us. Oh my God. Got no government, got no nothing. Let me add, I'm glad I read that last part again. Let me fucking add something. This is something that's always left out of the disingenuous, lying-ass conversation by people like Donnie and the right wing and so many of you out there. The dominant powers of the world have been keeping down places like Somalia. Why? So we can rape their landscape for resources. If they become a legitimate government, democracy, a successful country, they throw us the fuck out and they start selling their own resources for themselves. All the African countries. Does any African country really run itself? That's not run by some colonial power. Britain, America, whatever. I mean, shit, they had apartheid in South Africa. A country, a continent damn near full of black people. Allowed apartheid. One, which is crazy. Two, it happened. So what I'm trying to say is the first world nations have done a damn fine job, and there's a big concerted effort by the CIA, by various nations, to keep these third world nations in the fucking shitter, pure chaos, so their leaders will sell all the rights to the minerals, oil, gold, diamonds, to whoever from the outside that wants to pay. So we can sit here in America or Britain, or we're so great, we're a first world nation, and Somalia isn't, and Congo isn't. And yeah, that's because we've been keeping them down. Literally, that's been a literal agenda, a concerted effort by the first world nations to rob those third world nations of their resources. Again, we pay 5 or 6 leaders at the top. They get to live like gods. Everyone else is a fucking peasant starving to death. While businessmen from foreign nations rape their entire country. That's the business model. That's why Somalia is Somalia. That's why Congo is the way Congo. These places will never change because the first world nations won't allow them to. Happened in a lot of South American countries. The second they started getting stable, started doing okay, oh, the CIA can't have that. Destabilize, overthrow, puppet. We get the oil, whatever the CIA and big business is looking for. So when we say a country has no government, no nothing, well, the first world nations probably made sure that happened. Donnie talking about the Golden Dome, which is bullshit, by the way. The Golden Dome is going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. Protection racket. We'll put the Golden Dome over you. You just pay us like $6 billion a year and let us rape your forests and, mine coal and diamonds and become the 51st state. They should be grateful, but they're not. Again, he's in front of world leaders saying this, and a Canadian leader, I believe, is there as well. They should be grateful, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. Carney gave a pretty vicious speech. And it was damn fine. But they should be grateful to us, Canada. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, next time you make your statements. He's calling out world leaders by name. A country threatened to annex, by the way. I believe he was calling Trudeau the governor of Canada or something like that. This fat orange cunt. Again, the facade is dropping further. What you're witnessing a more comfortable, the rhetoric's even worse than it was before. He's starting to, again, believe in his mind, and he's believed it for a little while now. I'm king of the world. Everyone's going to come want to hand me $1 billion to be on the board of peace because I'm king of the world. That's what's going on in his head. And hail Satan, that's going on in there too. Unbelievable. Donnie is so low of a cretin. He's not even fit to shine Carney's shoes. And I mean that sincerely. Again, Donnie, Somalia, they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought. Code for black people are stupid. That's what Donnie's trying to say. Hey, those blacks were smarter than we thought. Oh my God. I always say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money? They didn't. They didn't. Another lie, like the caravans, like we're taking Venezuela, we're killing 200 people because of drugs in Venezuela. Oh my God. Europe, they have to work on Ukraine. We don't. The U.S. is very far away. We have a big, beautiful ocean separating us. We have nothing to do with it. Actually, we do. The United States literally went to Ukraine and said, back in the day, Rubes, I know you don't care because you're all traitors. Deals you make, we cannot take your word. I know, I understand where you're coming from and what kind of people you are. The U.S. government, back in the day, little children, went to Ukraine, said, if you get rid of your nukes, we got your back. We'll protect you. Don't worry. It'll be great. They believed the United States of America, which they never should have. The answer should have been, fuck you. Are you going to get rid of your nukes, son? US of A, Uncle Sam? I bet you won't. That would have been my answer. So we made a deal. Ukraine agreed. United States guaranteed the security of Ukraine. Look at us now. We're across the ocean. What the fuck we got to do with it? Well, what you have to do with it is you came to us, asked us to hand over our nukes, and you'd guarantee our security. You'd have our back. Then you people elect an orange-faced traitor who works for Vlad. Because Vlad has the compromat. He has the PP tape. And you betray us. You say you're across the ocean and you're safe and you don't care. That's what you're doing, Rubes. Every time you say no money to Ukraine, every time you agree with Donnie on Ukraine. You, Rubes, made a deal with Ukraine, your government. That's you. Do you keep your word or not? Apparently not. Neither does Donnie. He's just like you. So we do have something to do with it, except when a traitor named Donnie Krasnov is in office. Then all of a sudden we don't have anything to do with it. Donnie said that George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back to life and ran as for president and vice president, they couldn't beat him. I was with the two best pollsters. They said George Washington, Abe Lincoln, if they came back, ran as president and vice president, they wouldn't beat you. Do you understand a little bit now? The level of monster you've created. He thinks he's greater than Abe Lincoln and George Washington, for fuck's sake. When he ain't nothing but a two-bit grifter who dodged the draft. The fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the U.S. We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after 6 hours of fighting. I seem to remember stories about Denmark being pretty damn tough, actually. I don't know how every country fared against the Germans. I'm no expert on World War II. And I have a feeling if I research this, it won't be true. But he's saying it. So he's insulting Denmark. He's calling them pussies. And he's saying they should just give him an entire territory. In front of the whole world, with all the world leaders sitting there. Holy shit. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. Of course, he's talking about Ukraine. It was a rigged election. Everybody knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. That's why I'm reading this to you. That's probably breaking news. Donnie's telling on himself here. Pay attention, class. He's going to put people in jail for that election. Even though we all know he lost. That doesn't matter. He is saying right now he's going to put people in jail for it. And he will. I told you he's going to lock up liberals, right? It'll happen. It'll happen. Don't worry. It's already happened. It's one here, one there, judge here. This. I mean more than that. If it's what Hitler did, then Donnie will do it, and he's done a bunch of that already, my God. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. That's probably breaking news. We have crime down in Chicago, despite the fact we have an idiot governor and mayor that I mean a very low IQ person. He's a low IQ person. It's amazing. You have these wonderful, beautiful black women with MAGA caps on. They're all over Chicago. They want MAGA to come in. Again, he's at a World Forum event here. This is the sit-down part. He's saying all this in front of the world and world leaders. Don't forget that. The fake story about black women with MAGA hats again. Wonderful, beautiful black women. Yeah, Nazis love black people. That's totally legit. The fuck out of here. Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person, but sometimes you need a dictator. No, we don't. And all you malleable, worthless humans out there, and you know who I'm talking to, that need a king or a dictator. We don't need one. People like you need one. Weak-minded, malleable people that don't believe in anything. We never wanted a king, and you never need a dictator, motherfucker. At least if you're not in a goddamn cult. This bullshit he said several times over the months. Sometimes you need a dick. No, we don't, fuckface. No, we don't. Fuck you. The lake awaits, son. My orange son. The lake motherfucking awaits. Eat all the cheeseburgers you fucking can now, you fat fuck. I gotta take a break. My throat, that 3-hour thing last night, plus fatigue and being tired. My throat's still fucked up from that. I'm sure this cigarette will help. Talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes. All -3. Okay. Water. Okay, Jim Stewartson transcribed a large section of some of the things that Donnie said. And Jim is saying, I dare you to read this 25th Amendment now. So let's read it quickly. But equally important, this is a quote. We're cracking down on more than 19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. That right there sounds like a goddamn lie. I'm sorry. Somalian bandits, you say, you fucking orange-faced fucking liar. Can you believe that Somalian, they turned out to be higher IQ than we thought? We say these are low IQ people. Oh, this is for the no context people that complain about no context. This is another example of how it gets infinitely fucking worse when you add the full context. It don't get less evil, son. It gets more evil. And what's that say about you? So you should be saying the opposite. Hey, use less quotes. Make them smaller. Less context. If you were smart, but you're not. If you're smart, you wouldn't be down with this. You wouldn't have made it happen because it's the end of you and everything. Everything. Whatever Trump touches dies. Donnie's going to touch the earth. We say these are low IQ people. How did they go into Minnesota and steal all that money? We have, they're pirates. They're good pirates. But we shoot them out of the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately. Do you notice? When they go out in those boats, they want to take over $1.5 billion tanker loaded up with oil, and they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified. So they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them the money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We don't have any pirates so much anymore. We do. They won't be there long. We've cut down with the hitting of the boats that are loaded up with drugs, including submarines. Can you believe they actually buy some they call mini subs very fast? They're meant for drugs. We've knocked out to them the Democrats. They were fishing. You have ruined somebody's fishing. We can't, I would say, a submarine is not a fishing boat. You don't fish. But we've knocked down drugs by water, the oceans, the sea by 97.2%. Think of that, and I actually say, who the hell are the 3%? Because I would not want to be piled in one of those boats. We knock them down. Now we're going to start on land. We're going to knock it all out. The land is the easy part. What we did on sea is incredible, and that's our great military. He said this in front of all world leaders representing us. Oh my God, we're fucking doomed. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. We're taking people from Somalia, and Somalia is a failed, it's not a nation, got no government, got no nothing. I already read that one. Okay, this is the lawyer again. And the lawyer's starting to sound like me, and the lawyer's not supposed to sound like me. That's a bad sign for all of us. This guy talks about immigration law and the cases going on. He's starting to sound like me and comments slowly but surely. That's really bad for us. And if you don't know who the lawyer is, ask somebody. The president is talking about ethnic groups in terms of eugenics in ways that would have been utterly shocking 50 years ago. Yep, son, that's the point I'm trying to make, and I've been making. Eugenics, racial superiority is being preached openly. Have you goddamn noticed? And he just did it in front of the whole fucking world. That's what the lawyer's talking about. The quote he's referencing. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And the lawyer sounding exactly like me, son. That ain't good. The lawyer don't talk about shit like that. The lawyer talks about cases and violations of our rights. Now the lawyer's talking about eugenics. And it's so overt, it would have been shocking 50 years ago when, much worse was tolerated than what's tolerated today. I don't discriminate, but you can look at some people and say they're criminals. And we took in tremendous numbers of murderers, drug dealers, mental institutions, insane asylum people. Donnie is a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, defamer, and fraud, a traitor to his nation who staged a coup, tried to get the vice president killed, and Congress and senators killed. On his way out the door, he says, I'm going to take 3,000 classified documents with me, hide them in my golf resort in the shitter. That's who's talking about he can look at people and see they're a criminal. And that's also code for if they ain't the right skin color, they're a criminal. And we all know it. That's what he's trying to say. Meanwhile, look who's the goddamn convicted felon. The clown in orange face. Not the Somalian. Isn't that interesting? But that's not what really matters to you people and these people. What matters to you people and these people is the color of skin. That's what you base your lives and decisions on. That's why you lost the farm. That's why you lost America. That's why we lost the world. This is a religion of skin color. That's all that's being preached. In modernistic corporate code language. By a convicted felon, rapist. Oh, I forgot about the pedophile part. Guaranteed, son. That's one thing he never sues for. Did you know that, son? Mr. Sue Happy, who sues everybody. And I mean everybody. Donnie is not afraid to sue a motherfucker. Oh my God. Except about one thing. Rubes, Christians, Jesus people, pedophilia. When you make allegations of pedophilia against Donnie shitbags, he does not sue. Why is that, Rubes? Mr. Suhap, how do you explain that? Here's how you explain it. You've been on Team Pedophile the entire time. As you've preached Pizzagate. The entire goddamn time. That's how you explain that. Real simple. Donnie talking about Greenland. Again, openly in front of world leaders. So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. No, that's not what they want it for. It's not for peace and safety and security. That's the lie in Revelation and in the Bible that the Antichrist uses, literally. It's not for security. It ain't for the golden shower dome. That's a joke. We already have the most advanced weaponry known to man. It ain't about security. It ain't about national security, world security. It ain't about for protection. It's so his buddies can go in and mine and drill and do whatever the fuck they want and leave it Mordor when they're done. And Donnie gets a percentage of it fucking all. They have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember. Donnie will use the military to take Greenland unless it's given to him. We already watched him do it in Venezuela. We have this fake congressperson who they reported is worth 30 million. No, she's not. You believe this? Ilhan Omar talking about the Constitution provides me. She comes from a country that's not a country. She's telling us how to run America. Not going to get away with it much longer. Let me tell you again, Donnie's telling on himself he's going to do something to that woman. He's going to deport her, jail her, or something. He's telling you outright. Not going to get away with it much longer. That's a statement. That's not a maybe. What was the other thing he said? Oh, about Greenland. In other words, we're going to take it if you don't give it to me. Oh, about the election. He's going to lock people up regarding the election. Told you outright. Expect it. This is a reporter asking Donnie a couple questions. Does it include the U.S. having ownership of Greenland? It's a long-term deal. It's the ultimate long-term deal. How long is it? Infinite. There's no time limit. It's a deal that's forever. So no transitional. No, we're going to keep it for a while. This should tell you that every territory that Donnie takes, that's permanent. Donnie is referencing what he said yesterday about the leaders of, I can't remember what countries, how they were offering a possible deal for Greenland. A deal had been struck. So Donnie backed off on his European tariffs. That's the narrative Donnie is telling you. That's what he's talking about with this reporter. This deal you have going. How long do you get to keep Greenland for? How does that work? Oh, forever, infinite. Is there really a deal? Donnie's told us about so many deals over this year. About 99.9% of them turn out to be not deals at all. Nothing, in fact, happened. All lies. So what do you think this one will be? Hamas has agreed to give up their weapons. Now you know they were born with a weapon in their hand, so it's not easy to do. They were born with a rifle in their hand. If they don't do it, they'll be blown away very quickly. Again, he's saying this in front of the world. Born with a rifle in their hand. Says the mass murdering Antichrist. Okay, this is a clip on Fox News of Pam Bondi, and they're talking shit on that church protest that Don Lemon or someone was involved with. And the narrative coming from the right is, you know, that was terrible, it was wrong, unchristian. And they've taken the narrative so far that Fox has a chyron over Pam Bondi's face. But oh, Bondi said it, I guess. It looks like it might be a quote. Jesus Christ would have never stormed a church in protest of the people who were running it. Okay, you folks are the Jesus people. You're corporate America capitalist MAGA Jesus people, but you claim to be the Jesus people. And one of your people, Miss Nazi-ass Bondi, on one of your nice Jesus-y friendly family channels called Fox News, is saying that the Jesus that you all know and claim, well, you claim to know and love, and that Bondi in Fox News claims to know and love, you are the Jesus people, would never storm a church in protest. But son, I know I'm not your kind of Christian. One of the central stories of Jesus Christ is righteous indignation. So when he went in the temple and he saw it turned into a racket, a grift, and he saw the grifters present, he flipped over tables, he flipped the fuck out, he cursed people out, he grabbed a fucking whip, and he started whipping motherfuckers. What that, in my opinion, was a portent of the wrath of God against those that would dare turn the church into that, and the wrath of God at the end. Jesus literally staged a protest in the temple, flipped some tables, drove out the folks pretending to be holy. It seems pretty clear that one of the most offensive things to God is when people use religion to cover up their greed and bigotry, rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Now we're at the point, son, which is also in the story, where the religious, the Christians for the most part, people that claim to be Christian, are purely of Satan and evil. And they're on this team. That's how far it's gone. It's flipped. Not that they were ever the real Christians, but that's not the point here. We are at the point where Christians are preaching Satan and evil, and non-Christians are not. The non-Christians are being persecuted. Or the non-MAGA Christians as well. They're being persecuted as well. And the non-MAGA Christians and the non-Christians at all are preaching a godly gospel, and the majority of Christians are preaching Satan. That's how far it's straight flipped. Fascinating to watch. Rubery, idiocy, talking point mentality, the grift that's being perpetrated on you morons. And you know who I'm talking to. To the point where you all claim to know Jesus, you go to church on Sunday, you read the Bible a little bit, maybe you listen to some prophecy, whatever. They load you up with the talking point. Jesus would never protest a church. And you run with that. That's acceptable to you. That's a talking point that justifies what you're saying, your argument, your evil, you having your name on evil people. When one of the literal central stories of Christ's life was whipping the money changers. He didn't just protest in the church, he was whipping motherfuckers. He would have taken it further than Don Lemon, is what I'm trying to motherfucking say. But he had the right to. He's the perfect one. He is the representative of God on earth. The true one. The one who will dispense part of the wrath of God. When he turns all you people to mush on the battlefield. Whoever dares answer the call. I know he washed feet last time and he let you people nail him to a cross. I know. That was the plan, though. When he comes back next time, he's fucking you all up. Really bad. Comes back as king and conqueror. The only one worthy and with the right. Amazing. This is how far gone they've got you people. That Christ would never protest a church when that's right in your book, son. Open it up. But you people have turned Christ into a capitalist who, hates the poor, wants to be a trillionaire, hates foreigners, hates ethnic minorities, never would give a handout to anyone or anything free unless it's for you. Then you're fine with it. That's what you've done to Jesus. You've made him you. What a pity. Again, part of the reason this whole America thing's over. Can you go into NATO, can you go into what you just talked about with the NATO meeting? Well, we have a concept of a deal. What's Donnie talking about here? President Trump says he reached a Greenland deal framework, that's in quotes, with NATO, backs off Europe tariffs. In other words, Donnie caved because, I'm guessing, Europe told him as a unit, if you do this tariff thing and if you take Greenland, we're going to throw away all U.S. treasuries and your nation will be bankrupt. You'll be fucked. I have a feeling that's why Donnie backed off. Donnie went from we have a deal for Greenland, so I'm not going to do the tariffs, to now we have a concept of a deal. When it gets to the point where the Reich is saying we have a concept of a deal, that means there's no fucking deal. They're asking Donnie about big bad Jerome Powell. Let's say Powell decides to stay on the Fed. That could create a group of 4 people. Donnie interrupts. If that happens, his life won't be very happy, I don't think. Threatening the head of the Federal Reserve. Oof. Okay, this is Donnie doing the taco, and he's explaining it to you. Based upon a very productive meeting that I have had with the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, we have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland and, in fact, the entire Arctic region. The solution, if consummated, will be great for the U.S. and all NATO nations. Based upon this, I will not be imposing the tariffs. So Donnie caved. I imagine Europe said, we're going to sell all U.S. treasuries and you will be fucked. So Donnie's like, okay, I'll back off. But we got a deal for Greenland, right? No, Donnie, we don't. Well, I'll just lie and tell people we do, like I always do. So I don't look like I back down like a punk. This is Lucifer. People didn't become woke, you just became a horrible person. Yep, that's for all the people that say as you get older you get more conservative. No, you get more evil because you got a nest egg, so you start thinking tax cuts and I'm a Republican and I'm in the club and all that. You never were, son. Never. You're just a mark. That's all you ever were. In a right-wing grift machine. So for those people with those philosophies to justify the evil within themselves, because that's where those philosophies come from and those little sayings. People did become woke, you just became a horrible person, right? Woke became code for the truth, by the way. We can't tell the truth. That's woke. That's wrong. Again, flipping inversion of reality. Good is evil, evil is good. That's what woke is in its essence. That's what you people are doing with the word woke. You talked about being concerned about Russia coming to take over Greenland, so why invite Putin to join your board of peace? What'd I say about Donnie? He wants every country to give him that $1 billion. Because we want all nations. These are people that get the job done. No, Donnie just wants $1 billion from every country because he thinks he's some type of Caesar God king. And that they should all want to give it to him. And I said that before Donnie did. I keep telling you what's behind all this. The whole plan, their mentalities, their psyches, everything. And they'll prove me right within days, months, a week, an hour. Because we want all nations. Donnie wants to be king of the world, one. You form a board of peace. You say we're going to govern the world, resolve access to business wherever we want. Technocratic leaders will just come in, not from those countries, one of us. And I'll be the head of it. I'll be in control of the money. I'll be in control of the policy. Every nation pays me $1 billion, signs on as a member. I am the leader. I am the king. Because we want all nations. Donnie wants $1 billion apiece from all nations. That's what Donnie's thinking. What goals do you have for 2026 for Congress in terms of getting your agenda through? She's asking specifically about Congress legislation, passing laws, the way it used to be, how you're supposed to do it. What does Donnie say? I have great executive orders, says King Donnie, Dictator Donnie. Like water coming out of a sink. The water wouldn't come out. They had all sorts of ridiculous restrictions. I took them off. Straws. They don't have to be paper anymore. I'd like to have all that confirmed by Congress. What do you say first? I have great executive order. She's asked about Congress. This cunt's talking about government by proclamation, what he's been doing since January. There's a reason that little theater was done before you every day. To get you used to government by proclamation, also known as dictatorship. I hate you. And you know who I'm talking to. U.S. President Trump responds after Denmark rejects negotiations on Greenland. Tell that to my face. Donnie's real tough when he has your mercenaries that you pay for to do his dirty work for him. When he has to fight, though, he asks his daddy to get him a doctor's note. That's Donnie shitbags. Anonymous is asking, can we call them death camps now? And the reason they're asking that question, I've been calling them death camps since almost the beginning. CCOT, you never leave. That is a death camp. You don't leave alive. And if you think no one's died in CCOT, son, I got some beachfront property to sell you on Mars. It's really nice. Leon's going to build a rocket next week to take us all there. They're asking this question because of the thing I told you yesterday, the day before. And I knew exactly what it meant, son. Apparently Anonymous does as well. ICE has stopped paying for medical treatment for its 73,000 detainees. When you stop paying for medical treatment, well, what's the next step going to be in the Reich? Extermination, let people die, who gives a fuck? That's the next step. By not paying that bill, you're saying, I don't care. That's not the plan to give them medical treatment. That's not what we're looking for. It's gonna happen if it hasn't begun already, and we just don't know about it. Extermination. Extermination. I knew this 10 years ago. I knew this in January, even though I wasn't telling you that yet. Again, when you wonder about the rage and the yelling and all that for all these years. Because I knew what you didn't, son. How evil this was going to get. Where it goes, if I was correct. And now it's too late. Last night, GOP members were cutting up a cake of Greenland covered with an American flag. Today, they are all praising Trump for caving. This is what the cake looks like. This is what your Reich is doing, your right-wing politicians. Having little parties with cakes like this, where Greenland is an American flag. I'm sure you paid for the cake, dumbass Marx. I'm sure. So why not? I've been saying this for 10 fucking years. To people in chats, on the internet, in posts. Because the non-Christian world loves to throw this phrase because they don't like Christianity. I understand why. You don't have to explain it to me. I'm not judging you. I just know what you're thinking. And I know why. The phrase kept being thrown about since 2015. Christian nationalists. And to this day, it's still flying. Everyone says it. And I always said, and this person's saying the same thing. That's why I like them. Stop calling them Christian nationalists. They're white nationalists. There is nothing Christian about them. I mean, that's literally almost word for word exactly what I've said to so many people. There's nothing Christian about them. Never was. They're white nationalists. That's what I call them. That's what this person calls them as well, obviously. Just like Adolf Hitler's movement. Ain't nothing Christian about it. They said they were Christians too, those Nazis back then. Because they know it's a tool to get you fucking idiots. You hold up a Bible, you say I'm the Republican candidate, you got half the population just from that one action. That's why they do it. Now they got you. Too late. Now it's the end. So they never were Christian nationalists. I hate that term as well. They've always been white nationalists. That's all they ever were. Dr. Oz is a straight-up eugenicist. I've known for many years what modern code corporate cunts speak for eugenicism is. Dr. Oz fits it perfectly, so does RFK. That's why they picked him. The survival rate for hospice in California, if you're one of these fraudulent centers, is 100%. No one is dying. I mean, there's a higher death rate on the set in Davos. Everyone lives, so we obviously are going to go after that. I don't care what they say fraud is, because they're all frauds. He ain't even a doctor. What is he really saying, Mr. Eugenicist? He's saying we're going to help the dead, or the dying, die faster as we pocket that money that used to go to those centers. That's what he's saying. These are some evil fucks, man. To say that out loud, they're in hospice, but no one's dying. So I'm here to help it along by taking their funding in the place where people go to die. I'm going to help them die faster. And the Reich's going to pocket the money. That's why we cut all these programs. Not because there was actual fraud. Leon is the fraud. His Doge sociopaths are the fraud. The narrative they tell all of us is the fraud. Dr. Mengelaz is the fucking fraud, my God. Straight up eugenicist. He gonna help people die faster in Cali because they don't like Cali. Cali should stop sending money then, I guess. Dr. Mengelaz, who's gonna pay your fucking salary? You fucking grifter? Nazi grifter. Is Oz even full white? He doesn't seem like he is. I mean, to sit on to say this. Strip all the bullshit away. Where people go to die, I'm going to take their money away so they die faster. This is some seriously fucked up shit. No flight numbers, planes that technically don't exist, where people are shackled before being shipped to God knows where. No trains this time, planes this time. At Minneapolis Airport, someone watches on as shackled ICE deportees board an aircraft. It's one of the most dystopian, most chilling things I've ever witnessed. Here's a kind of picture of them going there. I've seen these pictures. I've heard about these flights. It's real. Unmarked planes that don't exist are taking people in groups away. And we don't know where. Because the planes don't exist. Because they don't want you to know. That worries me. Because they're Nazis and I know they're going to and probably already have exterminate people. So unmarked planes that don't exist where people are shackled and taken to God knows where. That kind of sounds like a dystopian nightmare, Reich. And Rubes and Son, Reichs touch everybody. Everybody. This is horrifying. And this is the type of shit that's happening. And I guarantee if the world lasts that long, we're going to find out in the future that people were being exterminated. Who knows when it began? It might have already began. I don't know. Unmarked plane taking people in shackles to God knows where. They could be flying them 3 miles down the road and executing them for all I fucking know. They could be throwing them out of the goddamn plane for all I know. This is what you've done. This is what you have your name on. No, it's not drama. No, it's not lies. I'm here to tell you the real information. If you don't believe it, I could give 2 fucks. If you don't agree, I could give 2 fucks. I'm dispensing it. Take it seriously or not, man. It's your life. This is going on. There are concentration camps. There are masked men rounding up people and killing people, macing babies, terrorizing neighborhoods. Territories being annexed using your mercenaries. Eugenics talk and racial superiority talk is now right out in the fucking open. New insane asylums and mental institutions are being opened up. Your name's on all of it. I'd get it the fuck off if I were you. Donnie again. I see people screaming, shame, shame. This is not people that are like living in Minnesota. These are professional paid people. They are like actors. No, that person said you killed my neighbor. They're not actors. Donnie's an actor. I don't think we've seen one sincere moment. The Reich are a bunch of actors. You can talk about paid people and this and that. I know I saw a woman get shot in the fucking face by fat fuck Johnny. And then he called her a fucking bitch. Whether that woman was her neighbor for real, and I believe she was. Or not, I could fucking care less. Fat fuck Johnny still shot a woman 3 times in the fucking face. And is being celebrated by the Reich as a hero. That's all I give a fuck about. And the paid people, that's on the right, baby. My God, all you people are is hypocrisy, fakery, lies, disingenuousness, stagecraft. Look at Erica Kirk coming out on them stages right after her husband died over and over again. Pure theater, fucking sparklers, fucking pyrotechnics going off. That's what you people like. That's why they do it in front of you. That's why your country's over. You fell for that. No, they weren't actors yelling shame. Fat fuck Johnny shot a woman in the face in front of a whole group of people. Trump's new executive order ties homelessness to crime and drug use. Allows for forced institutionalization of unhoused mentally ill. Withdraws funding from states who do not have anti-camping loitering laws. Will ICE get orders to round up the unhoused next? They already have, son. They round up a bunch of homeless Native Americans. That's just one story that we know about. Are they going to announce that they grab homeless people for the $1,000 bounty? So they can put them on the plane and maybe they get exterminated down the line somewhere? Maybe they never make it to the plane. Maybe they get buried behind a jail. Maybe they die in a cell. They're saying to states, if you don't criminalize homelessness, no money for you. I hate you people. Yesterday, cunts. Donnie told on himself again. He's going to open up insane asylums and mental institutions. He hates to do it, but it's got to be done. Because he's of Satan, and he's got to do that evil, right? No, it doesn't have to be done. What a shame you people exist. What a shame the maximum expression of you exists, called fat fuck Donnie shitbags. Eugenics, getting rid of the undesirable. That's all we're seeing here. That's all they're saying here. That was the plan. They already did it in DC. I haven't seen one person say what happened to the homeless in DC. I have a feeling I know. Just like Adolf Hitler, they are Nazis. The doctrine of Adolf Hitler, any infirm people, any homeless, any mentally retarded, mentally deficient, elderly, Exterminate them. They are a drain on society. Eugenics. Cunts. That's the idea behind this. You criminalize the homeless, you get them in them private prisons or regular prisons. You criminalize the homeless, it makes it easier for them to round them up. I told you new groups would get added to the umbrella. The groups you don't care about first. Illegal immigrants, or just Latin people in general, immigrants in general. Because they've been grabbing anybody. They're grabbing American citizens too. Now they've put under the umbrella the homeless, en masse, the entire nation. They're a target now. Wonder what's going to happen to them homeless. End up in some of them government or private facilities the government's using, where the owner can just charge the government for their stay for the rest of their life and make money that way. And then throw some of that money to Donnie next election, whatever. Or as tribute. Or, since Donnie's going to open up mental institutions and insane asylums, and since the word mentally ill is labeled all over the homeless by the Reich all the time, maybe that's what those facilities are for, since Donnie mentioned it yesterday and the proclamation comes out today. You understand they want to round these people up for a reason, right? You understand nobody cares about them. No one will give a flying fuck when they disappear. So what do you think is going to happen to them when they disappear? Experimentation, extermination, locked in those mental facilities, possibly? They could do anything they want to those people. Anything they want. And none of you will give a flying fuck. And they about to. And it's so evil. They're taking it so far. Donnie and you know who I'm talking to, are so of Satan that we have to make sure all the states criminalize these poor, unfortunate, at the end of their rope people. So the Nazi Reich can round them up and kill them. Because we all know that's where it's going, son. They ain't even paying the medical bills for the people they got in detention. What's the next logical step? Which was always the plan. Again, this is a Reich. The fat orange cunt had Hitler's speeches next to his bed for decades. You fucking cunts. So he thought that was all cool. Exterminating what he finds undesirable. Because he's of goddamn Satan, just like Adolf Hitler was. Same spirit in both. They worthless ass. Fucking disgusting. You people fucking disgust me. This is why you gonna burn, cunts. They about to round up the homeless on your dime with your name on it. Fuck you. Trump on the Insurrection Act. It does make life a lot easier. You don't have to go through the court system. It's just a much easier thing to do. Yeah, we know for the dictator. For everybody else, it kind of fucking blows, though. But for every minute of this 10 years, it's been all about this fat cunt. No one else. Fucking Antichrist. Fucking destined for the lake. Born of the imp. Sitting there. Yeah, dictatorship's a lot easier. For me. Again, son, all will be crying in the end. That's why I say fuck you and I hate you. All will be crying. Etch it in fucking granite. We pay for NATO. We paid for many years until I came along. In my opinion, 100% of NATO because they weren't paying their bills. And all we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership. Again, in front of the fucking world leaders. All we're asking for is a huge territory that some other country owns. I mean, what's the big fucking deal here? Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable. That's code for not all white anymore. Frankly, anymore. We can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places and say, I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. That's code for not all white anymore. Right in front of everybody, in front of all the world leaders. Everybody knows what he means. You know what he means. Whether you think that or not, you don't say it out loud. And you especially don't say it out loud as president of the U.S. in front of the whole goddamn world with all the world leaders sitting right there in front of you. This is America now. And this fella looks real dangerous. Who knows? It could be a girl. I don't know. This is somebody that the Gestapo has on the ground. You see 3 men at least. 2 men are holding this person down, and they're not some huge guy or something. It's a rather small person. And one of them is macing this person in the goddamn face at point blank range, as the other 2 are holding them down. Expand that a little bit for you. That's America now. That's what you've done. I've seen people be very liberal with that mace when they just get mad. I've seen them mace into cars as they drive by. Cars with babies in them. Seen the footage. You are of Satan. Your movement is of Satan. Donnie is of Satan and he's the Antichrist. And these cunts in the masks are of Satan. And you all gonna burn lest you turn away. My God. Emptying the whole can in the guy's face as they hold him down. I'm sure that doesn't do any permanent damage. Donnie again, without us right now, you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But how ungrateful are they now? Ungrateful? Because they're not handing Donnie Greenland. Adolf Hitler. You're witnessing it. It will not end well for any of us. It didn't end well for Germany when Adolf ran it. Did you notice that? Idiots. Okay, this is the leader that Donnie was lying about, saying he and this leader had some kind of deal on Greenland they were talking about. You'll be stunned that they don't. Rutt says the status of Greenland was not discussed as part of the framework deal Trump announced. Donnie made the whole goddamn thing up because Europe came to him and said, we are going to flush all of our U.S. treasuries down the fucking toilet if you don't back the fuck off. And no, you can't have Greenland. The guy's saying it, yeah, we don't have no deal over Greenland. What the fuck's he talking about? Once again, Donnie just completely fabricates a deal, like the China trade deal, like this trade deal, that trade deal. I got a trade deal, which they're going to buy the soybeans. Article yesterday, 5 months, no soybeans. Must suck to be a soybean farmer right now. But you voted for it, son. I know you did. I begged you not to. I cared about your farm that your daddy left you more than you did. Because pretty much everyone today, anyone who runs any business, pizza place, whatever, if they're under 80, that got left to them by their father, family, whatever. No one opens a business like that now. It would cost $2-3 million just to open it. That's a small pizzeria, very small. 3 million at least, just to open it. And that's intentional. They can't have upward mobility like that. Back in the day, grandfather, father opened that business. The 40s, the 50s. You could start a business 20,000. Get all the fucking equipment. You got a goddamn pizza shop. You got money for the rest of your life. It was that easy, son. Immigrants came over and did it. Try that shit now. Go to the bank. Okay, we looked at all the equipment. This is your business plan. This is your projections. The numbers look okay. Okay, it's going to cost for all this stuff about 4.5 million just to open a business. And you know what? You really don't have any collateral or any way to secure that for us. So we can't give you that kind of money. Sorry. That's your world today. Because I see younger guys in these businesses, younger women, and I look at them. And I've talked to some of them. And every single one, son, if they ain't 80, they inherited that business. And that makes logical sense because of what I just told you. To open a tiny pizza shop anywhere where you got a chance of succeeding, 3 million, 2 million. I'm talking a little place with, 2, 3, 4 tables, very small. But you got to put that whole kitchen, oven, just insurance, rental for the building, buy the building. Millions just to open it. And banks ain't just handing out millions to people and risking that on you for some future income, no matter how good your business plan is. The lawyer again. In a sign of how explosive ICE knew this secret memo would be, one whistleblower says he was only allowed to read the memo and was barred from taking note, and warned that employees had been punished for disagreeing. At least one ICE instructor resigned rather than teach water quickly. Let's see what this memo says. This person explains it. Oh my God. Lyons authored a memo in May authorizing ICE officers to break into homes of people they claim are subject to a final order of removal without a judicial warrant, and because he knew how unlawful this is, they decided to convey it to the rank and file by word of mouth. Who's going to tell Todd that word of mouth is just as unconstitutional as final agency action as if he put it pen to paper? Okay. I've been telling you people what the plan is for a long time. I've told you that these people have been given instructions to terrorize, to do whatever the fuck they want. Here is direct evidence of those instructions. To the point, the agents were told, you cannot take any notes, you cannot take copies of this, no pictures, read it, hand it back. Only word of mouth. No evidence of this. Because it's evil as fuck. And it's meant to subjugate you. And it's meant to violate your fucking rights. Specifically, intentionally, all of you, not just illegal immigrants with a final deportation order, you fucking marks. Unfucking believable. Again, hiding their chats on Signal because they don't want a record. Giving their memos that say, go out and murder people, do whatever the fuck you want, break in their house, whatever the fuck you want to do. Just don't take any copies of this, no notes. Just pass it along. In that Signal chat again, we had Stephen Miller literally outright speaking of taking the Suez Canal and extorting Europe and Egypt with it. These are the plans I explained to you that I said they were about back in January. Literally. Then we get direct evidence of it months later. A Signal chat we were not supposed to see, thanks to the idiots in the Reich, with a whole cast of great characters taking part. The couch fucker was on there, Jason Miller, Stephen Miller, Hegseth. It was great. Fucking Big Jeff Goldberg was on the chat. So we got to see behind the curtain what the real plan is. With this memo, we get to see behind the curtain what the real plan is. Oh, and they're going to take it much further than this. They already have. They shot a woman in the face 3 fucking times. Public execution, if you will. Already. So again, the intent is to terrorize, to subjugate. Eventually, we're going to get to a point where you can't critique the Reich. If you say something bad to an agent, many people have already been fucked with, maced, arrested, just for saying something. But eventually, we're going to get where that's all illegal. Can't do any of it. Even critique of the Reich will be illegal. They set that stage every day. By saying, don't call us Nazis when we're literal Nazis and doing Nazi shit. How dare you? That's evil. That's mean. That's illegal. Trump's FCC wants to MAGA up more TV shows. Donnie posted this. It looks like this. FCC takes aim at The View, Jimmy Kimmel Live in fight over equal time rules for politicians. I don't want equal time so the right can spread its propaganda. I just want the truth, man. There's not both sides to every story. For instance, there's not a both sides to concentration camps. They're just bad. You saying you like concentration camps and putting people in them is not a valid opinion. It just means you're going to burn. And we as a society should not have to tolerate your opinion that concentration camps are a good thing. If they're so great, let's put you in one. Cunt. So Donnie keeping his fight alive, his vendetta against Jimmy Kimmel, late night comedians, and daytime talk show hosts that critique him. Donnie never gives up. He will keep a vendetta alive forever. Again, this is a portent of it's illegal to critique the Reich. That's where this is going, and they will get there. They never give up. Because it's the devil, and he fighting for his life, and he fighting a lost cause. Because I'm sorry, little imp. First, fuck you. Second, you gonna goddamn burn. It was written from day one. And your bitch, punk, imp ass can't do shit about it. No matter what you do, little imp. You're gonna burn so hot, it ain't funny. And we all gonna get to enjoy the splendor. Trump on NATO. We never asked for anything. We never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force. Where we would be frankly unstoppable. But I won't do that, okay? He's already done that. And yes, he will do that. Where we would be frankly unstoppable. What was the crazy guy in sunglasses saying before the election to the oligarchy? All that Adam censored as fuck, getting 40 views a vid on my third channel. I said, if Donnie wins, you people will be giving him the biggest hammer on the planet, and it's unstoppable. No one can stop it. No one can do jack shit. Apparently, Donnie sees it the same way. Too late now. I am but a torch. That's all I can be. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be frankly unstoppable. That's why the devil wanted it. That's why the Antichrist wanted it. And they knew exactly what they were getting if you gave them the keys. Something unstoppable. I assume, again, that's probably why the man got to come back. Because no one else can do it this time. This ain't Germany. This ain't a little country in Europe. Broke because of World War I. It's the greatest empire that ever existed on this planet. Enormous. Wealth beyond imagination. Military built over decades since 1945. I guess Donnie's right. It is unstoppable. And that's probably why the man got to come back. And that unstoppable hammer is in the hand of the actual, literal Antichrist. We're fucking doomed. Donnie on NATO, until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy. And he's talking about Greenland again. No one called you daddy. Whatever curse word in the language of Greenland is for, however you say that in their language, fat fuck in orange face, that's probably what they say about him. Venezuela is going to do fantastically well. We appreciate all the cooperation we've been given. We've been given great cooperation. Once the attack ended and they said, let's make a deal. More people should do that. That's the country he annexed. And then he stole the Nobel from the woman that won it there. And he kidnapped the leader. And he killed 200 people on sea, on land. And he stole all their oil. Sounds like the Antichrist, doesn't he? I'm seeking immediate negotiations to discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States. Wait a minute, I thought you had a deal, Donnie. Donnie went from I got a deal to negotiation to me and Rut got a deal to Rut saying we ain't got jack shit. What the fuck's he talking about? Mark Carney left the World Economic Forum without meeting with Donald Trump. I warned you about this in January. All of our trading partners and all of these great trading partners saying, fuck it, we just got to go around the United States. We got to forget about them. I could have swore I saw a post about Macron saying he wasn't going to meet with Donnie either. That means one of the things Mr. Carney is thinking and why he looks a bit different lately and sounds a bit different is because the decision has been finally made after they kissed ass and tried to be diplomatic. And I think they got the message now. It's really time to abandon the United States. And it's time to start posturing as if the United States is an enemy. Because they will be. And Carney knows that. And Macron knows that. And a lot of Europe knows that now. They got the message. So Macron and Carney, at the very least, didn't even meet with the President of the United States at the Economic Forum. Two of our greatest allies, France and Canada, did not even meet with Donnie. They're going around us now. They've made the decision. That is not good for us. And we're at the end. This headline came late in the day. New York Times. They get emailed right to me. Cuban immigrant in El Paso ICE facility died by homicide, autopsy shows. Can we call them death camps now? Look, the bare naked truth is we have concentration camps. Now, I don't care if you call them detention camps. I don't care if you use corporate cunt speak, modern speak. We got concentration camps where people are dying. I assume eventually they'll be exterminated. We got insane asylums and mental institutions opening up. That's discussed one day. The next day, homeless people are all mentally ill and they're going to be rounded up. And if you don't pass laws in your state that says they can't lay on the sidewalk and sleep, then we will give you no money. I find it interestingly coincidental that one day new mental institutions and asylums are mentioned. Of course, you will pay for them. And the next day, the homeless and mentally ill are mentioned in a proclamation. And taking it as far as, if you don't help us, throw them in jail. Make it so there's nowhere for them to even lay down without getting arrested. If you don't do that, we give you no federal money. Because, the homeless, we just haven't picked on them enough. And they haven't suffered enough. And this is a Reich, and we're eugenicists, and eventually we're going to exterminate the homeless and the infirm people and all that. Why do you think they wanted that list of autistic people? For noble purposes? We have masked men murdering people, kidnapping people. We just find out a memo was given to them. Yeah, you can bust in people's houses, fuck it. But don't tell nobody about this memo. Given instructions to do whatever you want. Absolute immunity. Shot a woman 3 times in the face. That's one story. Our military was deployed against us. It will be again very soon. Election's about to be canceled. Annexing different countries. Making threats to bomb this person, that person, this person, that person, again. One of the things Christ said, there will be wars and rumors of wars. What does that look like? You're watching it. Donnie, that's what it looks like. Every day it's, I'm going to bomb this place. I'm going to annex this place. Maybe we're going to fight this person in a war. That person. 30-some people died in the death camps last year that we know of. I would wager my life a lot more died than we know of. At least 6 have died so far this year in the death camps, in the concentration camps. And this man died by homicide. The Holy Land has been taken over. Donnie sits atop the board of peace, and he made the peace deal with Israel. What I'm trying to say is, you're in a Reich. It's of Satan. Donnie's the Antichrist. It's real. I didn't want it to be. I was hoping it wasn't. I was literally not looking at things. Literally not dealing with it for a few years. Hoping it wasn't so. I was thinking about the agenda of making it illegal to criticize Israel or Jewish people. Donnie's active protector of the Jews. I thought, why do they need this? Why is this effort being made to lock up anyone, these Muslim people that are on visas in college and not on visas, some of them, just American citizens, for simply critiquing Israel? Why are they threatening businesses and colleges, extorting them for money? If you dare say anything negative about Jews or Israel. It's a full court press. This is a serious agenda. People have been locked up in a gulag for a month for this shit. Did nothing wrong. My point is, why do they need Israel, Donnie and the Reich, Miss Adelson? Why do they need, class, for it to be illegal to criticize Israel and the Jewish community? The temple. They know they're going to build that thing. They know the world's going to fucking flip out. They need it to be illegal. They need people to be afraid to flip out. They need people to be afraid to critique it. What Israel and Donnie and the boys are going to do over there, too, is going to get a lot of people mad besides the temple. I was just wondering why they need to make it illegal. Why? And that's all I can think of. That temple, they know they're going to put that thing up. They know you don't understand the animosity that will be coming from different places when they announce that. And I have a feeling they're trying to set a tone in the world ahead of time, to where the entire world is really afraid to critique it, say anything, or try and stop it with violence, whatever. I told you before the election or right after he won, I can't remember. I told you they need the world to know that America has Bibi's back when he slaps that thing up. That's the only way it'll work. We got 200 troops there already. Donnie has threatened to bring more. That temple is going up. No one can stop it. Guaranteed. All the pieces are in place. Bibi's finally got the thing he wished for all this time. A president of the United States with that military that says, whatever you do, I got your back. I'm talking troops on the ground right behind you. No one will stop it. Bibi been waiting for that for a long time. It's gonna happen, and that's, in my opinion, what's partially behind this agenda, where we have to make it illegal for anyone to critique the Jewish community or Israel, to the point we're locking people up for it. Because of some future thing we're going to do. That's only way it makes sense. Yeah, there's nothing literally that can remotely stop the temple now. It's coming, guaranteed. And I can tell they all know it. So in closing, the facade is dropping further. more evil is being put before you and discussed openly. We're three-quarter Reich, in my opinion. Around midterms will probably be full Reich. With military deployed, because they got to stop that shit, that election. That's where we are right now. Three-quarter Reich, and that's not good. That's real bad. And my other messages don't take the mark. And my final message is, have a wonderful evening.